Democrat lawmakers are now embracing socialism. They want to replace individual rights with total government domination. Perhaps nothing is more extreme than the Democrats' plan to completely take over American energy and completely destroy America's economy through their new $100 trillion Green New Deal.
Quite a speech, if you missed it over the weekend, from President Trump, doubling down on his campaign against socialism in his CPAC appearance. Let's bring in the economist Ben Stein to react to that. And this is kind of, hello, Mr. Stein or Dr. Stein. The idea, this is on purpose, obviously. And, you know, we've heard it from Larry Kudlow and now the president over and over. 2020 is going to be socialism versus capitalism. Is it kind of a winning political and economic argument, do you think? And what do you make of the way the White House has started selling it?
If the White House can sell it right, it's the most winningest, it's not grammatically correct, most winning political strategy there's ever been. The socialism is a suicide pill for the United States of America. Socialism is anti-freedom, anti-liberty, anti-religion, anti-human decency. Socialism is a route to national ruin. And has been in every country that's tried it in any kind of thorough way. Now, don't get me wrong. We already have some forms of socialism in America. Right. We have national federal bank insurance. We have a federal government old age plan. I know because I'm part of it. We have a federal government health care plan for almost all old people. But the idea of having government be pushing everybody else out of the energy business is a terrifying idea. Right. Pushing everybody else out of the health insurance business, terrifying idea. So why did they come up with this? How do you sell that part of it? Because your point, you're talking about programs, right? So if you add to the programs, just to play the other side of it for a second, and you come up with, I don't know if the Green New Deal is the best example, but some of these other things have been thrown out there, Medicare for all, let's just say. Some people might say, yeah, let's do it. That's, you know, we'll get free health care coverage. These programs individually sometimes are popular with people. Of course, no, I know that. I'm saying, but if you tell people that. There's no free lunch. Right. I know you can tell people that, but even the dumbest person out in the middle of Dumbland USA is going to know it's not free. Look, we're running deficits at the rate of over $1 trillion a year. If we have Medicare for all, it goes up to something like $4 trillion a year. The minute Medicare for all is signed into law, the United States is on a GAAP basis, and generally accepted accounting principles basis, bankrupt, bang, just like that. The minute socialism is a national policy for the United States, we're bankrupt, bang, just like that. We're already basically bankrupt because of all the money we owe because of the federal deficit. All right, well, let me ask you about that for a second, because that brings up the idea of whether President Trump is the best kind of messenger for capitalism, because you're bringing up debt and deficits, for example, something the president doesn't really talk too much about. And others say, well, he's more of a populist than kind of an old school capitalist. You know, certainly on trade, he's been criticized and that kind of thing. So will he be the right person to make this argument that you're making today? I'm not sure that he is the right person to make it, but he is the person who's going to make it because he's going to be the Republican candidate, barring some kind of disaster. And he's got to stand up and say, look, America works pretty damned wonderfully. America is the greatest gift that God has ever bestowed upon mankind, except possibly for Jesus. America is the greatest gift that has ever been bestowed upon mankind, and that's because America embodies freedom and human decency and human individual initiative. Yeah. If we take that away, then we take away the cornerstone of human liberty and human decency throughout the entire world. Trump may not be the ideal spokesman, but he's the only one we've got, and he's the best one we've got. Right, and he's great in these settings. Lindsey Graham. When he goes out, when he goes into these rallies. Right. He's fabulous. And he's fabulous in these settings. He gets people all riled up. He goes to the rallies. He did it at CPAC over the weekend, you know. But it seems like the Democrats are almost walking into a trap with this, and they're setting themselves up by going more and more to the left on economics. If you were a Democrat who wanted to beat President Trump, could you make an economic argument that would beat him? It's certainly not this, right? So what would it be? No, I don't think so. I think it would have to be that it has to be something about inequality. But inequality is a trap, too, because inequality is just a way of saying we're going to take away from the successful and the hard work and give to the unsuccessful. Inequality is a desperately unfair way of running a society. Equality is a great idea in principle, and we want everyone to be equal in opportunity and everyone to be equal in terms of access to education, access to health care, but we do not want everybody to be equal at the finishing line. That is a way towards dictatorship. That's the Maduro government in
yeah, it's
Venezuela.
interesting. If it stays on economics, it seems like your message. If it stays on economics, he wins, meaning he, the president.
Oh my God, he wins by the landslide of landslides.
It might not stay on economics, by the way. There's a lot of other things going on right now, investigations and all the rest of it. But that's where the president wants
I know,
to
but
keep
that's
it.
all. That's all persecution. That's all persecution. I mean, he had that totally nailed when he called it a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax, 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 hoax.
Tell us what you really think.
Good to see you, Ben. Thanks for coming on. Ben Stein.
God bless you. Thank you. Have a very nice day.